Let's animate a simple head turn together in the free 2D animation software OpenToonz. First, we'll start by making our core drawings, keys, extremes, and breakdowns. Next, we'll space out the drawings on the timeline, and finally we'll plot our in-betweens with a timing chart and draw them in. Hey guys, it's Sebastian here from the Noble Frugal Studio. I thought my last video on character animation might have been a little complicated for you beginners. So let's use a simpler subject to practice each step of character animation. Be sure to leave me a like and let's get started.
1, 2, 3 for comfort, 4 for the ability to change your posture, 5 things that the Waverly mesh seat does right, it's a world of ease, ache free. 2, 3, let's make it 4 for the design and the customization. High 5 to the Waverly mesh chair with a breathable seat, you get fresh air. This chair is a worthy replacement, a must-have for my own workstation. It has a sleek design for eye gaze and a neat lumbar decline for spine saving. I put it all together in high speed, assembly's quick, you'll find it quite easy. It rises and lowers just like high seas with a cool mesh cushion to let your thigh breathe. Look, you got drive, so it's worth the effort to make a space where you can focus on your new endeavor. And it's the little things that make it all come together. Get yourself a chair, cause it's such a bare fundamental. It's got an ergonomic flow and aesthetic to it. Now I can focus on scoring goals when I get into it, without the bother of taking breaks as my back is hurting. The ergonomics are great, I'm glad to get back to working. So in review, 3 for comfort, 4 for the ability to change your posture, 5 things that the Waverly mesh seat does right, it's a world of ease, snake free. 2, 3, let's make it 4 for the design and the customization. High 5 to the Waverly mesh chair with a breathable seat, you get fresh air.
If you're unfamiliar with core drawings, in-betweening, and types of motion, that's okay. I have 3 solid beginner-friendly videos that take you through the basics of learning how to animate. I'll link them for you to check out in the card. But you don't have to leave. You guys can follow along here because I'm going to explain everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it. When you open up OpenToonz, you'll be greeted with a screen like this. Let's go ahead and set up our new scene. So we're gonna name this head turn. I'm gonna save this to my tutorials project, but you can save it in the sandbox if you want. Our width is gonna be 1920 by 1080. Units are set to pixels, and we're gonna be animating at 24 FPS. Hit create scene. I'm gonna right click on the timeline here, hit new level, Toonz raster level, width 3000, height 3000, hit OK. Awesome, now I'm just gonna click Control plus S on my keyboard to save. I'm gonna go to raster. Let's select a brush to use. Maybe try this one. Seems all right. I'm gonna go to the settings here, turn the hardness up. That looks good. Let's use this. So guys, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to switch where these color windows are because it's not really working for me right now. I'm going to go to Windows, Workspace, uncheck Lock Room Panes. Then I'm just going to drag these over here. Drag this level palette, put it underneath the style editor. Should I put this underneath right there? Perfect. I'm going to go back to Windows, Workspace, and then check Lock Room Panes again. So let's start off by making our core drawings for our head turn. The first core drawing that we always start with is the keyframe. Keyframes are drawings that tell the basic story of any given motion. For this head turn, all we really need is 2 drawings. Basically the head facing left and then the head facing right. So we're gonna start with the head facing left. We're on frame 1. I like to start by sketching lightly with a large brush. I'm gonna hit Control S on my keyboard to save frequently because OpenToonz can crash unexpectedly sometimes. All right, that's keyframe number 1, basically down. You definitely want to spend a little bit of time on these because the keyframe define what your entire animation is going to look like. Select this drawing and just move it slightly towards the middle. Let's draw keyframe number 2. Scroll all the way down to frame, say 17. Just draw on the canvas to create another drawing. Now this is 2. I'm sorry guys, I literally switched windows. I didn't even realize it. Here we are. Back to where you guys can see it. So right click to activate onion skin, activate and deactivate it. And these are the onion skin points on the timeline. Guess I have to move these over again. Start on keyframe number 2. Okay, this will be 17. You know, it might change later. Not too worried about that. Select this and just drag this down a little bit and over so that the same distance from this X in the center. All right, so we have our keyframes done. It looks like our character's looking to the left and they see something exciting to the right. Next up, let's make our extreme drawings. Extremes are drawings that further describe the physics or mechanics of a given motion. In this demonstration, we're going to use extremes to implement some anticipation and overshoot in our animation. That just means our character is going to wind up slightly before turning their head, and then on the other side, they're going to end up going too far and resting back into this final keyframe. And I'll show you what that's like right now. For the anticipation, our character is just going to move slightly more to the left before they move to the right. We also tend to close our eyes when we turn our heads to protect our eyes from the air that's passing. So we can start that in this frame. Just to save ourselves the work, I'm going to erase this one. I'm just going to change this to an A. Got to change 17 to a B. Tap on 2 and drag right before 3 and click this tab and drag these together. This is the way I usually do it, so I can keep everything close by so we can space out the frames in the timing phase when we're, you know, creating the timing chart and stuff like that. We don't really need to do that now, so I'll make it easier. This is going to be the A extreme. Anytime I have an extreme, I just put these sort of pow effect markings around it. Now we want to make an extreme of B. So I'm going to click 2, click this tab and drag outwards towards 4. Then I'm going to draw on the canvas while selected on that frame between 2 and 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to overshoot this pose. Overshooting is basically when a character or an object goes farther than its projected target. So if our target is this smiling face position right here, we can basically overshoot this by exaggerating this position. So we're going to flip it like this. It's a little slightly farther to the, this is technically the right because we flipped the canvas. Slightly farther in that direction. We can make the mouth a little more open. Let's take off that onion skin. Extreme. Pow effects. Boom. Our character winds up and overshoots the pose before finally resting. Anticipation and overshoot can add a lot of life to your animation. Finally, let's finish off our core drawings by drawing in the breakdowns. Breakdowns are used to describe the transition from extreme to extreme or from extreme to key. I'll make the breakdown position to demonstrate it. Let's draw in the middle of here. For example, when our character turns their head, does their head dip down like this? Or does it go up like that? Or does the head stay straight as it turns? All of these questions can be answered with breakdown drawings. Since we're animating a typical head turn, we're going to dip the head downwards. Just, no, not too much, but slightly. Put a little bit of squash on it. Squash and stretch. Just put a tad bit of squash on it. I want to make sure the head's big enough though, so we maintain that volume. You can note it's being slightly deformed. Okay, that'll do for now. Let's call this breakdown A, B, and we underline it because it's a breakdown. Okay, that wraps up the core drawings for this animation. Let's space these drawings out. All right, so what I did is I just clicked and dragged to select all these drawings. Right click, reframe, reframe on 4s. That timing looks pretty good already. I guess it's because our final frame is landing on 17 like we originally had it. So that was the first step of the timing phase. Now we're going to move on to making our timing chart. So for our timing chart, we want to be mindful that we're going to be animating on 2s, meaning each of these drawings is going to be exposed for 2 frames, or it'll last 2 frames. If you don't know about ease in and out, or the different types of motion, click the video in the card. So we have A, keyframe down to the A extreme power effects. I'm gonna make that an ease in. I'm gonna favor A. So this is gonna be frame number 3. Actually, instead of writing A keyframe and A extreme, we actually can put the frame numbers at this point. Forgot about that. So this is gonna be 1. 1 is a keyframe, and down to 5. 5 is an extreme. We're gonna ease into it. Traditional animators will actually call this an ease out. It can really be both depending on which frame you're referencing. But just so you know, traditional animators will call something that will speed up and ease out. All that really matters is that our character is going to accelerate towards 5. Then we have from 5 down to A, B, and B in one chart. So down to, what's B land on? 13. 13. Not really a smart place to put my timing chart. Let's move this stuff over here. From 5 to 13. 13 is an extreme. Put those power effects around it. AB in the middle, which lands on frame 9. And since it's a breakdown, we underline it. I kind of want this to look like a very snappy animation, so I'm going to have frame 7 and 11 favor the extremes. So 7's going to favor 5. And 11's going to favor 13. Then finally, from the B extreme to the B keyframe, down to 17, which is a keyframe. We'll just have it favor 17 so we can wrap up all the motion that was built up during this animation. All right, let's draw in these in-betweens. I'm gonna set my onion skin nodes or points so they can fall on the frame I'm trying to draw. All right, so we want to favor the first keyframe in this one. So the red is what's behind and the green is what we're looking forward to. So we're just gonna draw more towards the red. Let's draw 7, that's favoring 5. Even though 11 is favoring 13, I still want the eyes to be closed. And lastly, we have 15 favoring 17. So I forgot to write that frame number into our chart. 15. On frame 11, I'm going to drag the lip a little bit. And we just finished all of those in-betweens. Nice. All right, congratulations, guys. You just finished animating a head turn like a pro. Thank you guys so much for watching. Special thanks to Laura Furniture for sending over their Waverly mesh chair. You can check them out in the description below. That's all from me, guys. Happy animating. Peace.